things that we consider are mechanical backaches. So many things. A pain which is discogenic in origin or facetogenic in origin, a proper disc prolapse, whether it is cervical, dorsal or lumbar, what is termed as lumbosacral strain. Now this is a very oft repeated diagnosis, but in the true sense of the pathology there is hardly anything, meaning it's something where you have an acute onset pain following a wrong movement or a wrong posture, but when you examine, you hardly get anything. So these are microscopic changes which might have led to an abnormal loading of a particular segment in the spine, be it the disc, the facet, or the ligamentum flavum, or the combination of those. Microscopic in origin, which lead to a local inflammation and spasm, which are never seen on clinical examination or MRIs. So those hazy zones we put into lumbosacral strains, which usually resolve pretty soon. So when they don't resolve, they are not lumbosacral strains. You will usually find something else picked up later. In young patients, it is difficult to find out whether this is mild discogenic or a little lumbosacral strain or just a little spasm. You're right. It's very difficult to judge that. So you have to go by your gut feeling while examining. Be sure of picking up, not missing out on things. But yes, you cannot sometimes differentiate between a mild discogenic versus just a muscle spasm or some so-called lumbosacral strain.
So then doing MRI at that point, does it help?
Yes, it helps. If you are able to localize it, then it helps. But you have a person who is 50-year-old. He or she will have 2 or 3 discs which are degenerated. So इसमें से कौन सा disc है कैसे पता? So that is where the clinical examination will tell you if there is a localizing sign.
So management-wise, physiotherapy and exercise, the protocol would remain the same as just mild discogenic and lumbosacral.
Correct.
Management,
physiotherapy-wise management remains almost same. Yes. OA spine is a huge component. Alright, the so-called cervical spondylosis and cervical spondylitis or lumbar spondylosis and lumbar spondylitis are all degenerative disorders. Degeneration of spine is an ongoing phenomenon in each and every one of us. Alright, all studies in all centers all around the world in the last 100 years have shown that at 50 years of age, every individual on the face of this earth will have degenerative changes in their spine. 100% population will have degenerative changes in their spine. They may have never suffered a pain in their life, yet at 50 years, all of us will have degenerative changes. So these degenerative changes are responsible for a lot of these mechanical issues. So if you see further, you will see what I am talking. So this is our base on which everything else is, like what I would say is the osteoarthritis spine or the degeneration of spine or the spondylosis or the spondylitis is a huge panorama in which all these guys fit in. All these guys. So you have to understand those basics first, and which is what I'm going to put in a huge effort today for you guys to realize that. Because once you understand the pathogenesis or the pathomechanics or the pathoanatomy of that situation, you'll realize that all treatment modalities, all, including surgery, are palliative. Though the patient can be totally normal and completely asymptomatic and completely doing everything including bungee jumping, yet technically on the pure medical grounds they are palliative. We'll see that why. But I want you to understand this. And once you understand what the pathoanatomy or the pathomechanics or the pathogenesis of this degeneration is, your mechanical backaches is become very, very easy then. Joint osteoarthritis, cervical oncovertebral arthropathy. Now, because only the cervical spine has these joints of Luschka, back to an the uncinate process with the vertebral body forms a small joint known as oncovertebral joint or joint of Luschka, which is not there in the dorsal spine or lumbar spine. So the degenerative change in this guy also can cause symptoms, which would be then part of cervical spondylosis. Canal stenosis. Now, stenosis can be of multiple varieties. You can have central canal, you can have root canal, you can have lateral recess, you can have segmental stenosis, you can have generalized. And within that, of course, cervical and lumbar. At lumbar, because there is no cord, you are always going to have root compromise. Whereas at the cervical level, you may have a cord compromise leading to what is known as spondylotic myelopathy, which is a separate issue. Spondylolisthesis and spondylolysis are again mechanical issues. We'll go one by one after that. So what I am saying is this is a plethora of mechanical issues which can be seen and will have to be identified. Within the listhesis, again, you can have a stable listhesis or an unstable listhesis. Within that listhesis, you can have a compromise on the nerve roots, or you may not have a compromise on the nerve roots. So it's like a huge table and a flow chart which goes through that. Listhesis, which is unstable and neurological compromise, then you're talking of surgery because you need to stabilize and you need to decompress. You have a stable listhesis with no neural compromise, then you know it's pure mechanics, so you don't need surgery 100%, you just need medicines for taking care of that acute inflammatory phase, and then exercises to prevent further instability. You have the in-between guys, which are the zones of not sure types, where you have instability but no neural compromise. So there you try to give outside support, give exercises, make them stable. If they don't become stable, that instability, if it is not getting better, you get into a surgical zone, because that instability is, I'm talking about not getting better is in terms of 6 months, 2 months, 2 years, that kind of thing. You're not talking of 15, 20 days. And you have a situation where it is stable but neural compromise, and the neural compromise being treated conservatively, there is no improvement and there is now neural deficit. You need surgery. So this kind of flow charting is possible.